Hello everybody, this is Willie Vega from That Guitar Show. Got a little lesson for you guys. It's a beginner to intermediate guitar player lesson, and it's geared around blues, my favorite style. And a lot of you guys know this 7 chord. The blues, you know, a lot of it's based on dominant 7 chords. This particular one is rooted off the A note, which is that, so it's an 8 chord. But what I want to do is show you an alternate to playing this chord here, and it would be this chord here. It's the same chord, but what you're doing is you're placing your fingers in such a way that you're omitting that note there, which would be a D note, which would be the 5 of the A7 chord, okay? And there's a good reason to know this chord. Well, there's several good reasons to know this chord. One of the best reasons, I think, is that by playing it like this, you got more mobility than you do this chord here. See, like when you're playing swing style blues or even slow blues, you want to be able to move that chord around. And what you do is a lot of times what you're doing is you're approaching that chord from a half step below or even a half step above. So sometimes what you're doing is this. Hey, listen to that ambulance. They're coming to take me away. Anyway, so when you're playing like a swing style blues, a lot of times you're going to be playing these chords. And that's why you should know that chord. And sometimes if you're playing with a bass player and you're playing with a keyboardist and the song is kind of cluttered with a lot of sound, sometimes what you do is, instead of playing this whole chord, which by the way, let me show you the fingering right now. I apologize. Okay, what you do is first finger on the E string, the low E string on that note, the A note. The next string you skip, alright, skip the A string and put this finger here on that G note. Okay? Then skip a string again and use your third finger on the B string on that A note, and then you got your pinky, you place him right there. That would be the C sharp, and that would be the major third of the key of A, alright? That's what you should hear right there. Notice I'm muting that A string. Okay, so now you got that, right? And what if the band is too big? Too much sound in this register, this lower register? You got a bass player going, you got a keyboardist going, maybe even some horns, whatever, right? Sometimes what you want to do is, instead of playing out that whole chord, is just ring out those 2 notes. See? And you could play it like that, you know. Okay, and I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the 9 chord. That's this shape here. It's that funk chord, you know. So if you know that chord, you can play a 1-4-5 blues progression in a swing style by going, say, start with this chord, the one I just showed you, in the key of A. Then you go to the 4 chord, which would be this one here, that 9 chord, with the root off of the 5th string, the D note right there, alright? So you'd go See that? And I approached it from a half step up, from a half step above. So I went. And that's a really good move to know. How many times have you heard that in a song? So let's go back. It's sort of like doing this thing, but it sounds so much cooler. See that? Now that 9 chord, right? Then let's approach that chord I just showed you a minute ago from a half step below. Then what do? Go to the 5. Okay, what I did there was I ended with this other form of a 9 chord. And what you do is you go first finger there, second finger there, next finger there, and the other one there. So it creates a sort of a, I don't know, it's creates a pattern there. See? First finger there, second finger there, third finger on the D string, and fourth finger on the B string, okay? And what that is that's an A9 chord, okay? So here you have an A7, but in order to give it that finality at the end of the song, you can do this. See? Okay, so again, that chord, learn it. The 9 chord, if you don't know it, for God's sake, get it under your belt. Sorry for the sloppiness there at the end. That's it. Goodbye. That Guitar Show. Tune into That Guitar Show. ThatGuitarShow.tv. That thing right there. Read it. Read it. Can you see it? Right there. It's right there. Go to it. Listen to my podcast. It's pretty damn cool. And it's all geared for guitar players. Okay? All right, you crazy kids. Good night.